It's true, you aren't unique, and neither am I. We've never had an original experience. Actually, let me go one step further. We've never even had an original thought. Today, I'm gonna prove it, and I'm actually gonna show you why it's better than being special. But before we do that, I wanna play a little game. I'm gonna ask you a couple of rapid fire questions, and you respond quickly with your answer. Easy enough. They're gonna be going quick, so think fast. What is 1 + 1? 2 + 2? 3 + 3? And name a vegetable. Ah, interesting. What do we have here? You said carrot, didn't you? I recently came across a ton of videos that were detailing experiences that I thought were ultra specific to me. Things from my childhood that I had even forgotten about. But they clearly weren't as unique as I thought because these videos had millions of views. And you've probably shared the same experiences too. When I watched these videos, I felt weird internally. And no, it wasn't the cucumber. If these experiences aren't original, which they aren't, how are there people on the other side of the planet navigating life so similarly to myself and yourself and everyone? What is going on? I found 6 explanations for why this occurs that I hadn't really ever thought of. These explanations vary from the vanilla plain science, here's your answer, all the way to the spiritual and transcendent cosmos. We're gonna make our way through these, and I can't wait to get to some of them because they're my favorite. And they're interesting. Shout out to all of you that have subscribed in the last month. I appreciate the love and all the comments and the likes. Thank you guys so much. So join the family, my friends, and let's go on this journey together because it's gonna be a fun one. Let's get into the videos.
Bitch! No, you're not gonna call me no bitch because I'm not none of these ones. I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm not none of them.
This is a perfect example of what this whole video is about. I see comments like this. I've never had an original experience in my life. We're so similar. I always remember as a kid in Australia, there would be 60 Minutes on a Sunday night. As soon as it went to ads during 60 Minutes, it was like until dawn in that shit. I remember doing this as a kid all the time in my own bedroom when it was really dark. It would be pitch black and I would walk in my room and say, I can see you. I can see you over there. So you may as well just come out. Fully expecting a ghost or some guy to just walk out and be like, what? What are you doing, guy? How did you see? Oh, okay. Whatever. Not even worth my... This one's more for the guys. Sorry, ladies. There's going to be some more unisex ones coming up. But yeah, it's true. It's true. I think it probably happened a couple of times in school. I mean, speaking of PowerPoint, not much power in that point, unfortunately. How do you think I hold my palm cards? I don't know. Whatever. They say you need to make plenty of eye contact. They didn't say which one. So, you realise you're sat here watching a guy laugh at his own jokes. Can anyone smell this video? I can. It's like a plastic, but not a bad plastic, like a fresh plastic. I feel like I haven't been bruised in a long time, since I was a kid playing in the backyard. I haven't had a grazed knee in years. I haven't had an ant bite in at least a decade. I think we all need to just go roll in the grass. Why did this just get so deep? We're not meant to be there yet. I mean, it's true. It's not a hot take. I've seen it all over the internet. But that, paired with the light on in the car, not allowed the light, half my childhood right there. As I get into my old age of early 20s, I start to understand more about why your parents do the stuff they do. So y'all didn't get in trouble for eating food in the car. I'm sorry. If you're getting in trouble for eating in a car, you've probably developed OCD. Or the opposite, you've rebelled and now you just make a mess. I don't understand that. We were always allowed to eat in the car. I mean, it'd be a bit of a double standard. You know, my parents being able to drink in the car. So that's a joke. They didn't do that. It's a joke. Do not drink and drive. I'm not sure what home base is. We had Bunnings in Australia. I mean, you got Home Depot in America. That's a core memory. Just beating the shit out of a useless sack of manure is what my dad did. I'm kidding. My dad did not beat me. I would still do this. I still do this. If I'm in the gardening section of a store, give it a quick 1-2. Keep them on their toes. You got it.
Keep your damn mouth shut. You stupid bitch.
I would always get done with Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my kryptonite. Well, apparently carrots are. What are some rules that your parents made specifically for you that would convince you to do something they wanted you to do?
It's the Ultimate Warrior! It is! Look at that! The Ultimate Warrior! What is he doing? Is he going to attack Hogan? What is going on here?
So I'm not the only one. It was even better if you had like 4 or 5 of you and you could do a little tag team. Not like that. Like kids tag team. You sicko. I'm not joking right now. I'm 23. If one of my friends around the same age had a bouncy castle at their birthday party, I'm not even joking. This isn't for the camera. This isn't for you. I would love that. Imagine smashing a few beers and then hopping on a bouncy. That sounds horrible. That sounds horrific. At my old house, where I grew up, with the upstairs bathroom, there was a window right there at the toilet. I remember literally moving my head as I pissed so the sniper couldn't shoot me. And then I knew where he was in the building across the road. How is this a thing? How are we all so connected with this shit? This has 857,000 likes. This isn't some sort of niche little childhood. What the fuck?
I don't understand what the hell are you talking about, man.
Mike.
I've always loved playing games. Actually, I still play them. I'd love to stream them, you know, like my Rocket League. Goated, I love that. I feel like the first time I was confused about R3 was when I was playing Burnout 3. And I think it was the boost, or maybe circle was it, but there was some sort of game mechanic where it was R3. I was so confused, and I was flustered, and I didn't know what to do, and I started crying, and I wasn't allowed on the internet at the time because I was only like 9, and I didn't know how to solve it. I was sat there pressing R1 and R2 thinking that equaled R3. Meanwhile, it probably didn't do anything because my controller wasn't plugged in because my brother was there playing and just didn't plug my controller in, making me think I was playing. Oh, fuck. This is actually getting outrageous. I'm actually getting a bit annoyed. Again, we all living the same life. Relatable. I don't know what the Walking Dead meme Rick Grimes has to do with it. I find it's either when you're sitting on the Chamber of Secrets or brushing your teeth. I'll be on my phone and then I start brushing and I leave it on a TikTok and it just repeats and it repeats and it's something hellish in my head. Your stomach ever hurt so bad that you start sitting like... I'm probably going to get a lot of hate from my lady viewers for this, which is fair. Go for it. So fair. I've had a handful of experiences in my life like this, sitting on the throne, where I would assume it's comparable to childbirth. There has been a few moments on the toilet where I have thought for a split second that I would rather be dead. I would rather cease to exist than handle my BM. It's been that horrific. Some of my BMs have been unethical. I don't know if you guys agree. There's certainly something being birthed. It's not a child though. It's more a spawn of Satan. It is the best feeling ever. I think I'll be 80 years old, decrepit, deaf, dumb and blind, and I'll still get back into bed with a leg shake and a little giggle. Kill me. Well, if I'm 80 and deaf, dumb and blind, maybe just kill me. See, this is what I'm saying. We're all literally the same person, so why can't we just get along? Guys, let's just stop the hate. Everyone, put down the guns and remember that we are all human. After watching all these videos, I was actually mind blown about how similar we all are. I mean, half of these videos were made from places across the other side of the globe. How is it that we're all so similar? It just didn't make sense. I had to go and find answers for these questions that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and I actually found them. Our journey into explaining this phenomena starts at the old adaptation nation. There's a gene pool party, and you're invited. Well, everyone that's ever existed is invited because it's evolution. The reason for shared experience can be defined by our makeup as human beings, our species, and how we began. It's understood in the beginning that our survival as a species depended highly on our cooperation and cohesion as a group. These evolutionary survival instincts shaped humans to seek approval and conform to social norms. Our brains became wired to respond to certain stimuli in predictable ways, leading to common emotional responses and interpretations of experience. Even forgetting evolutionary theory, science has a pretty good answer for why we all act so similar, and that is just our DNA. It's our DNA. Despite different races and cultures and geographical locations, any two humans on the planet share approximately 99.9% of the same DNA. There's even these things called mirror neurons, which we all have. I mean, you have. I don't have any neurons firing. In fact, the only thing on fire in me is my comedy. And my bowel movements. These neurons are brain cells that only fire when an individual performs an action and also observes someone else performing that same action. These enable us to understand shared emotions and empathy and interconnectedness with other humans. It's like when I make an incredible joke, the best you've ever heard, I laugh, and it makes you laugh. That's probably the best example. You may be satisfied with this explanation, but I am not. I think there's more to us than just evolution, and this is where we head into the next step, the collective unconscious, or the naughty netherworld of the noggin, is what I like to call it, along with the subconscious smorgasbord, perhaps the pondering potluck as well. The main proponent for this theory is the old mind magician known as Carl Jung. Carl Jung. It's Carl. He suggests that humans share a reservoir of universal experiences, symbols, and themes passed down from our ancestors. This theory can be linked with evolution, that was our beginning and where it came from, but he explores archetypes, as he calls them, that seem to pop up in all cultures that have ever existed all across the globe. So we may all be tapped in to some neural network. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? You think all this is wacky? Wait till you see what's coming up. They're my favourite for a reason. Okay. One of the most cited explanations for why we seem to live such a similar life is due to cultural conditioning and social norms. From a sociological perspective, our experiences are mainly shaped by the culture that we were raised in. It begins at home, with your family, like the dad tax, and beating the bag of manure. But it continues with our interactions with peers, education, media, shit like that. Although every culture that's ever existed has a similar foundation of beliefs in terms of love and survival and death, there are differences, obviously, we all know that. And this is where this comes to play, basically saying nurture over nature. The next point, which I think is more relevant than ever, is the idea of globalization and the mass media. In 2024, we are more interconnected across the entire globe with one another than ever. This is mainly due to social media, but there's a few other big reasons why this has happened. A big contributor of this is access to information. As a result, people all across the globe are exposed to the same content, the same cultural references, leading to a shared experience. It's basically a blending of cultural differences. Think K-pop in the Western world, or Hollywood movies across the whole globe. This has only been exacerbated with what I mentioned earlier, social media. You can even go deeper and break it up by generation. The memes we all grew up on are quite different to the memes that Gen Alpha's growing up on.
This game mode is literally Grimace Ohio Skibidi Toilet and Duke Dennis the Dupre Gat, level 3 Gat.
Memes have been cited as one of our generation's strongest binder and a reflection of our shared values as a generation and society. Which, if that is true, Holy f- Another example of this has been the introduction of global events. Think World Cups, Olympics, music festivals. An opportunity for people of all nations to come together for the love of one shared experience. This has also fostered the idea of a cosmopolitan identity, whereas people see themselves more as world citizens than their nationality. This belief is backed by the idea of a global effort towards things like climate change and pandemics and wars. Just none of the fun stuff. Okay, globalization, social norms, evolution, whatever. Boring. Yeah? Okay, science. More like sign to go touch some grass. I'm joking. I love science. Good job, Mr. Science. I appreciate everything you do. But now we're getting into the fun and wacky, my favorite part. Starting off with existentialism. Existentialists basically believe that the human condition is characterized by a few fundamental aspects, mainly mortality, freedom, and the search for meaning. They believe that all humans grapple with these existential questions, leading to a shared experience of uncertainty, longing, and introspection. It's the idea that our boring, mundane daily lives are overshadowed either subconsciously or consciously by a deeper existential significance, which ties all of us together. Get ready, okay, because we're hopping on the Enlightenment elevator and we're going to the penthouse. The final and best explanation for our shared experience is the spiritual and transcendent. This is the idea that every single one of our experiences are interconnected manifestations of a higher reality or consciousness. Get your head around that one. You thought you were coming for some poop and fart and shit commentary, didn't you? Well, this is not one of those videos. So you were waiting for the fart sound effect, weren't you? Well, that is not going to happen. So egg on your face. I'm not going to get down to that level and do that. The feeling of unoriginality that we all have arises with the identification of the individual ego. They say that this obscures the deeper unity and interconnectedness of all existence. By transcending the ego and tapping into a higher consciousness, we all may experience a sense of originality and uniqueness that goes beyond the boundaries of individual identity. So get them! Bang! Our experiences and thoughts may be unoriginal, and we may not be special, but there's something comforting knowing that we're all in this together. I feel like every great experience I've ever had is now doubled knowing that there are others out there who have also shared in that positive experience. And on the other side, I feel like the burden of bad experience and negativity is halved, because there are others out there who also share that same experience and have to go through the same thing as me. And this is why I think it's better to be unoriginal, because we're all in this together and we can all help each other. Like smashing like on this video. And don't forget to subscribe. I want to play one last game. Ready? What's 1 + 1? 2 + 2? 3 + 3? Now name a vegetable. I can't believe you just said Stephen Hawking's. Oh my god.